What's up, guys? Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Part 9, the final installment of A Monument to All Your Sins, which is complete every level of Halo Reach on Legendary by yourself. So start this up, we're going to sprint one sprint cycle and hug the right side, and then we're going to drop down to the right of this tree off the cliff, and then we're going to sprint once we fall down here. We're going to run at this elite, and we will be able to run up around behind him and assassinate him. Most of the time he's startled, and he throws up his hands in the air, and he's angry and stuff, so you could wrap up around behind him and easily assassinate him. That time he took some more convincing. He actually didn't even get surprised or anything. He just decided to melee me. But when that happens, what you want to do is just keep circling him until he tries to melee you. You'll probably take some damage, but then you could just land the melee as he's recovering from hitting you. Then we could run over here, grab a DMR and the rockets, and there's some health on the wall, which I need this time around. Usually you can make it through without needing health, but not this time. I almost died there, actually. But that's not that common. Most likely, the elite will just throw up his hands in the air, like I mentioned, and you'll be able to assassinate him easily and then just keep going. But we're going to go over here now. There's an overturned Mongoose. Hop in, and we're going to drive along this path. And there's a bunch of Banshees overhead here. They probably will ignore you. This guy's shooting at me a little bit. But most of the time, they ignore you. Sometimes they'll shoot their plasma bolts at you, and more rarely, they will shoot a Banshee bomb. So they didn't do that this time around, thank God. It's usually an instant kill because their aim is pretty good. But that's right. We would just revert from our last checkpoint. But we're going to roll over here now. And instead of going along the path, we're going to cut into the left over here. And right when you get past this rock, you want to ditch the Mongoose and then run back to that rock and kind of hide behind it. The reason I do that is because by moving up here, we actually get the second scarab to drop down from the sky, and he'll start moving out of this area, just like the first scarab does. And the reason I hide behind the rock is because that first scarab is actually close enough where the turrets on the scarab could actually attack me and probably kill me if I just stand there and take it. But we're going to take out these 3 grunts in the drop pod here with our DMR. Then we could drive down here, take out these 2 grunts from this drop pod, and you can see the 2 scarabs are just scripted to drop down and then walk away towards the right side of the map. So they'll just not be a problem at all. We're just going to hug the left side, take out the grunts as they drop down from the sky easily enough. The next drop pod that's to my right is actually kind of weird. There's 3 grunts that drop down, and they will attack you if you get close enough, but they're scripted to just move up towards where we came from when we entered this section. They kind of follow a scarab up there. Very weird. I don't know why. They actually go straight to a different drop pod and just hang out by a different drop pod. I don't know why. I followed them once and they just kind of went over there and just hung out. Very strange, but we're going to kill those 3 other grunts from that drop pod that was preventing us from moving forward. You could actually drive past them if you want, but sometimes they noob combo you and it will get you to stall and they might stick you or something, so might as well just take them out with some headshots. We have all day. We're not on a speed run or anything, but you do want to pause right there where I did in the tunnel, because if you don't, if you just keep going, the Phantom will be able to gun you down while you're on the road over here. There's a Phantom that drives overhead or flies overhead, so watch out for that. Go over the jump here. There's more DMR ammo on the right in a crate, along with a health pack by a dead Marine if you need that. So stock up on your wares. We're going to grab some more DMR ammo, and then we're going to head to the left of this section, and we're going to bypass this whole thing. There's going to be a fence, and we're going to just hop along the top of the fence, basically, and we're going to jump up to the left onto the rock in front of us. So just hop very nicely, tiptoeing like a cat on the fence top, and then we're going to jump up to the left on the rocks, and then we could kind of curl up and around and jump onto the rooftop over here, and then we could just run forward, climb up these rocks, and on the other side there's going to be some suicide grunts. A lot of the times they just blow up and take out the needle rifle buddies of theirs, but sometimes they don't. So you can see half of them did and half of them didn't. The other half is chasing me. The surviving half is chasing me with those grenades, but we're just going to run to the next cutscene, and we won't have to deal with them. I did take out the needle rifle guy, though. But we're going to activate the cutscene, skip the cutscene. There is a way to despawn the buggers and skirmishers in this next section, but we're not going to cover that in this video. If you would like to see how to do that, it is in my speedrun guide for this mission, and also the lasso guide for this mission. So hit those up if you would like to see that. It's not too difficult, but it's tricky for some people, so I decided to just go straight up the manual route here where we have to take out all the enemies. It's not too difficult. You should have a bunch of DMR from the previous section, and there's also a bunch of DMR ammo behind me right now by the dead Marines, along with that health pack I was looking at, and some frag grenades. So really, the strategy for this part is just to kind of take your time. However good you are at shooting, just take that into account. I'm being a little aggressive, and I'll get a little more aggressive as we go forward, but really that's because I know I could be more aggressive just based on, how well I know the enemies and how they move and everything, and it's going to almost mess me up. We'll see in a second, but I'm confident, and I'm just going to revert to my last checkpoint if I die, so whatever. We're not on a speed run again, so take your time. As much time as you want, and as many deaths as you want, preferably a low amount, but, we're going to keep moving forward here. And there's going to be more drones and skirmishers down here as well. So there's a reinforcement wave of drones, it seems like, in this next section. And then there's a bunch of skirmishers down below. And they have some needle rifles, and we're going to start collecting needle rifles. So we're going to switch out our DMR for the needle rifles once everyone in this area is dead. So watch your flank over here. I was getting shot at a little bit from over here. Looks like this bugger has moved, and I could see somebody flying over there. So I wonder if that's him. Probably. We'll take him out, and the skirmishers could come from the left or the right here. They're coming from the left this time around, though. So I'll jump down, and this is where I kind of was a little overly aggressive and confident, and you could easily get lit up by a plasma pistol. A plasma pistol seems like a rinky-dink piece of crap weapon, but in the hands of anybody, really, it's really effective against you. So a grunt, a jackal, a bugger, they are really good at using those, and they can take down your shield really quickly and mess up your day. So make sure, you know, the coast is clear before jumping down there, because you could get lit up like I did there. But we survived, and we're taking out these last remaining skirmishers with their needle rifles, and we're going to start collecting the needle rifle ammo at this point now, and we should be able to collect enough where we have a full amount of ammo and everything. So we should have full rockets and full needle rifle by the time we're done scavenging the area for these needle rifles. And you can see I'm also low on health. If you are as well, you could always go back to that one we skipped by in the beginning of this drone bugger section. But you could also just move forward because there's one right here. So we'll grab this one. There's also some frags on the ground, and we'll grab those. So we have two going in here. We have full frags, rockets, needle rifle, and health and shield. We're going to run down to the right over here. We're going to do a grenade jump to bypass this whole section, and we're going to throw a nade against the wall over here, and then we'll jump up to this section. I almost run past it. I forget what I'm doing for a second. We're going to jump up there, throw a nade, jump up with it as it goes off, so it propels you up here, and then we'll sprint forward. And there's going to be sometimes a Bob. This is one of those Easter egg elites. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. He happens to be here this time, so if he's there, you could skip past him as well by just going along the route I'm taking right now. It's kind of the long way. We just kind of go around this whole section and approach the stairway from this direction. So normally we'd come in from this left opening over there. We would come through there and get to the stairs this way. But we are just going to go up this way now. You do want to make sure you sprint there from around the corner to the stairs, because that ghost I was looking at sometimes likes to take interest in you, which we do not want. So I'm going to grab the laser here. I'm just going to quickly take out the 3 turrets set up over here. There's 2 regular plasma turrets, and there's also a fuel rod turret. That was the second one I took out right there. So we don't want them taking pot shots at us as we try to traverse across the top of the map here. But remember that we're trying to conserve the needle rifle ammo, but I do like to use a little bit here to make this section a little easier. There's 3 grunts that are standing on that platform. We're going to jump down to that general area in a little bit, so I like to clear those guys out if I can. I only took 2 out this time, but that's okay. We'll just keep moving forward, and I don't drop down here. I jump and then fall down there, so I clear that doorway a little more so they can't see me as much. They're less likely to see me because I'm not simply dropping down into the doorway. I'm kind of jumping over the doorway for the most part, so they are less likely to take notice. But I was trying to distract them and get them to go to that other doorway. So I was using my radar trying to take notice of when they're moving and everything, but they were kind of standing still there, so I just decided to gun it, and we made it. So we're going to go to this next section. This section has a jump that a lot of people find frustrating, but I'm going to throw a frag over here to take out the grunts, hopefully. I did take out both of them, and I'm going to back up to grab more frags because there's some on the wall behind me, and there's 2 health packs on the wall as well. So now I'm going to sprint forward here. You could use the needle rifle ammo a little bit to take out those grunts if you'd like. We're going to jump up on here, jump up to this ledge, jump up to these pipes, and you want to get on this 3rd pipe up here. There's the big pipe below, a smaller pipe, and then the other smaller pipe, which is a little higher, so you could get the jump if you do that. And it's really tough. You don't want to jump diagonally up at it. You want to jump like kind of up and then over, kind of like a candy cane is how I describe it. You want to jump straight up pretty much as high as you can and then over a little bit when you're at the top of your jump, so you could get to the top of that edge there. But you can see when I was looking down at those pipes and zooming in, you want to jump on the small pipe that's further away from you, more towards the wall itself, because that one is a little bit higher, and that's what you're going to need to get that clearance to get up onto that top shelf there. And worst case scenario, you could always throw a frag grenade down to grenade jump up to get that extra height if you need to. So for this jump I just did, there's nothing really to it. You just sprint and run and jump as far as you can. So you despawn the hunters, actually. So that's what we did just there by going up onto that catwalk. We don't have to deal with any of the hunters, and we bypassed all those elites too, obviously. But one thing I was looking at when I was zooming in and out rapidly on the catwalk before I jumped down, I was showing you where a shadow would be, because a phantom actually goes over there and drops off 2 elites. So you want to make sure, A, the phantom is gone, and B, the 2 elites are gone. And you could tell if the phantom is still there, because there will be a shadow on the catwalk. But since we despawned the hunters, the door will not actually open up to this section, so I jumped through the window, and if you jump through the right side of the window, it will actually not allow any of the enemies to spawn in here until you go over here and touch the door you would have walked through. So I grabbed a DMR, and then I went over to the door and smacked it because I was ready to take these guys on with my DMR that I just grabbed. And the way to get in through that window is to actually crouch. If you don't crouch, you won't be able to get through. So when you jump through the window, definitely hit crouch so you can squeeze through. And then we'll get the DMR like we did, go to the door to spawn these guys in, and we'll start in on these guys. There's a bunch of jackals in this room, and there's one invisible elite who was actually pretty easy to spot this time around. Usually he's a little more invisible than that, so I was able to quickly take him out. Normally he either stays behind his pillar over there, and we could go fight him later, or he will come and charge your position, and I just stay up here on this kind of structure I'm on, whatever this is. That's why I'm up here, standing up here, so if he does come over here, he will not attack me. He will just attack Emil, because Emil is on the ground, acting as bait, basically. So we're taking out the jackals from far away, and there's more DMR ammo up against the pole to my left when I was standing over there. And we're just going to juggle our needler rifle and our DMR up to the top of these stairs. And we already took out that invisible elite. He would be spawning right below these stairs, right to the side of this pillar, that big pillar to my back left now. Now my front right. So that's where he likes to hang out. And if he does kind of stay behind there like he does sometimes, you could always grab a plasma pistol from a jackal that you killed and then kind of pepper him as he comes at you. He'll just charge your position once you get close enough, and then you could just shoot him a little bit with the plasma pistol, pop his shield, and then shoot him in the head to finish him off with the DMR, of course. So we're going to move forward, and that will spawn in 3 grunts and this elite. So we have a DMR and a plasma pistol at this point, so we could easily noob combo this guy. So overcharge plasma pistol to get his shields down, and then just a quick pop to the head with the DMR to finish him off with the headshot. And then we'll run back here. You can see I was juggling some weapons up here, so I could use them later. I'm going to exchange my DMR and my plasma pistol now for a needle rifle, but we're actually going to juggle the DMR up ahead as well, just in case we need to use it later. We shouldn't need this DMR, but I just like to bring it anyway. And you want to make sure that you grab the additional needle rifle ammo from those jackals we killed. So that's why I'm okay with using a little bit of needle rifle ammo on our way here, because there's those 3 jackals with needle rifle at the end here, so we could always fill up a little bit more. So don't use a lot. We want to make sure we have full ammo going into here, but you could use a little bit like we did as we came to this final battle up ahead that we're about to partake in. But anyway, I'm just moving these 2 boxes into the way of the door because I'm showing you that you could move these boxes and actually block the doorway. So if you really don't want to fight those 3 grunts and that 1 elite, if you're really bad at fighting elites or whatever, he is a dual-wielding elite, so he might be a little tough for you, but you could just, when the enemies aren't spawned in yet, when we just jumped through the right side of the window and nobody was here yet and we got a DMR, you could actually walk all the way up here and move those 2 crates and make sure they're nice and flat against the doorway and there's no space or anything, and you'll be able to kind of lock those guys into the doorway, and then you could easily take them out. They won't be able to get through. You could just take them out from far away, and then that way you don't have to get in close to them. So that is an option as well. I just wanted to show you that. But you can see we grabbed more needle rifle ammo, so we have a full needle rifle. Our DMR is pretty full at this point too. You could have filled it up more before leaving from that crate, but I decided I did not care. But again, we have rockets in our back pocket, and we're juggling the DMR and needle rifle forward, and there's going to be a health pack on the right over here by the crate if you would like some more health, if you need more health. I should have mentioned a little earlier that we want to be saving grenades, so I have full grenades at this point, 2 frags, 2 plasmas. The plasmas are the really important thing. That's what we're going to try to use for the most part here. So juggle your weapons over here. Once you get outside, you want to make sure you're doing this quickly because there's 2 phantoms and we want to get to them before they drop off their troops. So we're going to leave the DMR about here, and then we're going to follow this path. Just sprint this way. Make sure you're following this path. You're on this level of the map and everything because there's a bunch of enemies down to the right. So we're going to come over here, and then we're going to sprint. I like to sprint over the tree, sprint and jump over the tree. You don't have to jump over the tree though, but hide behind this rock for sure. And we're going to throw a plasma grenade down on the right side of that group of enemies and then kind of rocket the left side as they fall down. And you can kill all 6 as they jump down out of the phantom, and we're going to do the same thing here. Plasma grenade on the right side of their formation as they jump down, and also a rocket to the left side. So we killed all of them there, except for 1 grunt was stubborn and survived, but we finished them off with a needle rifle. And now we're going to cut back to the other side of the map, kind of where we entered this area from, and we're going to go down the lower level here. So you can see there's a bunch of enemies on my radar, but they're actually 1 floor up, and we're going to come up around and flank them from the other side, or I guess not really flank them, but just go to the other side, go up these stairs, and we're going to get our DMR that we laid down here. And you could use a needle rifle if you didn't bring a DMR in, but the needle rifle gets them to dodge more, so they don't like to be super combined, so they dodge more, and it's just tougher to hit them sometimes with it. So The DMR is more easy to use in that regard because they're not going to dodge as much. So we could use the DMR for this. Take note of the fact that when there's 2 enemies left, regardless of who they are, there will be 2 more phantoms that come in. So we're going to do the same thing that we did to the first 2 phantoms, but you want to really make sure that you pay attention to how many enemies are remaining, because you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you don't realize the phantoms are landing. So either take out the 2 remaining enemies quickly or disengage them so you could engage these phantoms. But same thing here, hide behind these stairs, and you could throw a plasma grenade down on the right side of the formation, rocket the left, and this guy survived this time around. But we could actually shoot through this grated stairway. You could shoot through any stairway, but if there's a grate on it, like there is right now, you can't shoot through it unless you have specific weapons, one of those being a needle rifle. So we took out that chieftain. That chieftain actually was dropped off towards the right, the upper right over there. You can see some jackals. There's another phantom that drops off guys over there, including a brute chieftain, or 2 brute chieftains. One has a fuel rod. He's shooting at us right now, and one has a hammer. So the way we take these guys out is to just rocket them, and then that will get their shield to pop. Except for this guy. I didn't shoot him very well at all, I guess. Now we're going to get this guy's shield to pop, and then we're going to simply needle rifle him 3 times in the body, and that will super combine and kill him. So that's what we did to the brute chieftain with the hammer, and the same thing for the fuel rod guy, though he was a little more stubborn. But once you take out enough enemies and there's 2 or less remaining, just like before, there's going to be 2 more phantoms that come in, and you want to come to the top of this building as fast as possible. And then we're going to shoot 2 rockets at this area to take out the brutes that are dropped down, and be aware that one of these guys is another brute chieftain with a plasma launcher. So you want to finish him off probably with a needle rifle, because he'll probably survive the 2 rocket blasts. But if he dies, he dies. Whatever, that's fine. But he'll probably survive, so you probably want to be ready to lay into him with a needle rifle once his shield pops. But now we have one last group of enemies that were dropped off by a phantom. We were unable to get there in time to kind of attack them as they were falling down out of the phantom. So they're kind of spread out a little now. There's a handful of grunts and brutes in that wave. There's no chieftains or anything, though, so you could easily super combine them with a few body shots to their body. Body shots to the body. Or their head, either way. Especially for the grunts, you could just one-shot those guys if they don't have that helmet on. So we're just going to be cautious here. You might have a rocket or 2 left over. You might not. You could use it if you'd like here. We're not going to use it in any other spot, so feel free to use it if you would like. But the needle rifle is going to be the most effective weapon probably at this point, because as I mentioned, you could super combine them. And none of these enemies have shields, so you don't have to worry about popping those or anything. So I'm scared of this fuel rod grunt. I'm being kind of hesitant to engage him fully. And I almost got stuck by this guy over here. He's flanking me. So watch out for that. Just keep checking your sides and your corners and everything, because they like to spread out and kind of surround you. So there's only 6 that are dropped off in that last phantom, and all the phantoms pretty much. So you could count like how many people you've killed, so you can kind of keep track of who should still be alive. And we're just going to take this last guy out. Oh, no, he's going to armor lock. Just make it a little harder for us. But we took him out, and I'm looking for my DMR at this point. I don't know where I've left it, so it doesn't matter that much. We can grab another one in a little bit. I still have a good amount of needle rifle ammo left over, so it's not that big of a deal. So we're just going to go to the platform to wait for Captain Key's Pelican. He will come down. There will be a cutscene. I'm going to skip it. I'm just grabbing a spike rifle for no reason other than my rockets were totally out, and it's better to have a weapon of any kind than an empty one. So we're going to move forward here, and we just skip the cutscene, obviously, and spawn back in for the last time. This is the last time we'll be spawning into this game. And we will kill the 3 grunts up ahead here. You could just headshot these guys. If you don't have any more needle rifle ammo or DMR, there's pistols in various crates throughout this section in the building to my right. So check that out. There's different levels to that building too, so there's different weapons as well. So check out that area if you need to find some more headshot weapons to take out these grunts. There's also a sniper at the top of the building, which I'm going to go grab actually in a second. I've never seen this elite come down those stairs, so I was kind of shocked. I kind of moved up thinking I was going to be safe underneath, but then he just decided to come downstairs and hang out, and I'm not a fan. Lots of health on the walls here in the building, and I'm going to go up to the top, and like I mentioned, there's going to be a sniper up here. We're going to grab this. I was trying to be up close and personal with that elite, but he didn't want it. I was trying to essentially get a plasma pistol from one of those grunts I killed, and then I could just noob combo him easily, but he was not letting me do it, so I just decided to back up, grab the sniper, and shoot him in the face. So that's what he gets. And now that we have a needle rifle, we could use this to take out the engineer. He's always somewhere around here generally, so kind of look around, and you could find him a lot of the time. Sometimes he's a little more towards the left, so you have to kind of duck into the room a little more. So I'm just waiting for the engineer's shielding to deplete on all those grunts and elites in here. Since we took out the one elite out here, there are only 3 in this room now. So that's kind of a good thing. In the original game, the elite that we just killed out here with the sniper, he usually backs up and retreats into this area. But in this version, for whatever reason, in the MCC, he actually just stays out there even if we move up. So we're going to grab a DMR here. You can see there was one lying behind me by that dead Marine, and we picked it up. So now we have a classic noob combo, the plasma pistol and the DMR. So we're just going to use this to take out the remaining enemies. And one thing to note is the fact that if you overcharge plasma pistol, the fuel rod elite up here, he actually doesn't get his whole shield collapsed from that, but he does get stunned at least. So you could just shoot him a couple more times once you plasma pistol him. So you can see there, he still has a little bit of shield, but just shoot him 1 or 2 times. It gets his shield to pop, and then you could finish him off. And then this last guy, we'll just take care of him as usual with a regular old plasma pistol and then a DMR to the face. So one last thing we want to do to prepare ourselves for this section is to get a hologram and get health if we need it. There's health on the wall right there. There's also health in the structure in this section. So there's 3 health packs in total in this room that I'm in right now that I just got into. So grab the hologram from the crate over there. Grab health if you need it from this floor. There's 2 more health packs in the floor below. So if you go down to the lower level on that structure, there's more health down there. Lots of health around here. And now we have the hologram. So we can't sprint around, unfortunately, and get there faster, but we will be able to more safely finish this game off. So we're going to go up here, and we're not going to get into the mat gun. If you've never seen this trick or a little exploit or whatever you might call it, you could actually just kind of walk up here. It will trigger the whole ending sequence where the Phantoms start coming in and the Banshees start coming in, and the Covenant Supercarrier starts drifting across the sky. And then once he gets into a certain position, you'll have the ability to shoot him in his underbelly or whatever opens up, and then you could finish the mission. But you could actually just wait here until that happens, until he drifts into that position. So I'm just going to look at the wall here. You can see I'm looking at the roof kind of sloping up to the left. I just looked there, so when I activate my hologram, I'm just going to cut ahead. I just cut ahead like a minute because there's a bunch of nothing happens for a while. So I activated the hologram as soon as the music crescendoed and everything, and Keys was like, take the shot or whatever. So we just activate the hologram. It will distract a bunch of the Phantoms and Banshees up there, and then you'll be much more likely to survive as you hop into the mat gun, hold down the trigger, and aim it at the underside of the Covenant carrier. You'll take out the ship, and that is the end of Halo Reach's campaign. So congratulations, you beat it on Legendary, although you do have to watch the epilogue, and you do have to finish Lone Wolf. So Lone Wolf obviously is a nothing mission. You just die. As soon as you die, you complete the mission, and you will get the achievement to pop for a monument to all your sins, which again is completing this game on Legendary by yourself. So by getting this, you will also get Gods Must Be Strong, which is completed on Legendary, Folks Need Heroes, which is heroic, The Soldier We Need You to Be, which is normal, and Welcome to Reach, which is completed on easy. So that is it for this series, and if you're looking to take your game up a notch, you could always check out my 3-hour speedrun guides for that achievement in Halo Reach and MCC, and you could also check out my lasso guides for Halo Reach as well in the MCC if you're feeling feisty. So that is all for this one. I'll see you guys later for more Halo achievements. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you can find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.